Let's start with some context because this story doesn't make sense without it. The Washington Franklin series ran from 1908 all the way through 1922. Across those 14 years, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing produced an almost incomprehensible number of stamps. We're talking billions of individual impressions. And at the center of it all, the workhorse, the everyday stamp, was the 2-cent Washington. It was the first-class letter rate. Everybody used it. Everybody had it. It was, for all intents and purposes, the most common stamp in America. So how does a stamp that common become one of the most discussed rarities in the hobby? The answer is 3 words: flat plate printing. The printing process that changed everything. Between 1912 and 1914, the Bureau shifted printing methods, and with those shifts came subtle, unintentional variations in how the design transferred to paper. The 2-cent Washington Type 3 is a product of one of those moments. Here's what happened. The original flat plate die produced what we classify as Type 1, a design with strong, fully intact frame lines on all 4 sides of the vignette. Clear, sharp, defined, then we're set in. Plates get used, ink fills in, frame lines begin to break down at the top. That wear produced Type 2, characterized by breaks in the top frame line, but the bottom line intact. Type 3, both the top and the bottom frame lines show breaks or are missing entirely. It sounds like a degradation story. It sounds like it should be the least desirable. And that's exactly why so many collectors ignored it, discarded it, or never even knew they had it. But here's the twist. Type 3 was produced for an extraordinarily short window. The plates that generated this specific wear pattern were corrected or replaced quickly. The window of production was narrow. The surviving population in fine or better condition is dramatically smaller than anyone initially suspected. Why most collectors already owned one and didn't know. This is the part that still gets people in the hobby talking. For decades, collectors were sorting Washington 2-cent stamps into bins labeled common, because on the surface, that's exactly what they looked like. Red, Washington portrait, 2-cent denomination. Into the stockbook they go. Nobody was checking frame lines. Nobody was examining the vignette edges under a loupe. Why would they? It is a 2-cent stamp from a series that produced billions of them. The philatelic community began waking up to the Type 3 scarcity problem in earnest through the 1990s and into the 2000s, when serious census work started catching up to what was actually in collections versus what people thought was there. Expert certificates began coming back with Type 3 designations on stamps that had been sitting in collections, unexamined, undervalued, for 50 years. The realization hit the hobby like a freight train. A genuinely scarce stamp had been hiding in plain sight, and the collectors who had been careful enough, patient enough, and knowledgeable enough to identify them early, they were sitting on something remarkable. How to identify the Type 3 right now? Let's get practical because this is Stamp Vault, and we don't just talk theory here, we help you do something with what you learn. Here's your 3-step identification process for the Washington 2-cent Type 3. Step 1. Get a loupe. You need at minimum a 10 times magnifier, ideally a 20 times magnifier. You cannot do this identification by eye alone. Step 2. Examine the frame lines. Look at the outer frame lines on the left and right sides of the design, specifically the areas where they meet the top and bottom horizontal lines. On a Type 3, you will see breaks or complete absences in the lines connecting the top corners and the bottom corners of the vignette frame. Both top and bottom show disruption. If only the top is broken, you're looking at a Type 2. Step 3. Confirm the perforation gauge and paper. Type 3 stamps are flat plate printed and perforated 12. If you are seeing coil perforations or perforation 11, you are in a different classification entirely and need to take a step back. When all 3 elements align, broken or missing frame lines at both the top and the bottom, flat plate printing characteristics, and perforation 12, you have a serious candidate. At that point, you should obtain an expertising certificate from PSE or the Philatelic Foundation before you do anything else with it. What the market is saying. Let us talk numbers, because the auction record on the Type 3 is one of the more fascinating stories in recent American philately. For years, fine examples were available at modest premiums over Type 1 and Type 2. The market had not fully priced in the scarcity. Collectors who understood what they were looking at were quietly accumulating. Then the dam broke. Very fine and extra fine certified examples started attracting serious bidder competition at the major houses. Mint, never hinged Type 3 stamps, already difficult, became outright competitive every time one appeared. The census numbers were not there to support casual availability. Scott Catalogue began reflecting the premium more aggressively. Dealers started pulling Type 3 stamps out of the miscellaneous Washington category and treating them as line items. The conversation shifted from nice to have to need to find. What this tells us is that the market corrected, slowly, then all at once. The collectors who did the homework early were rewarded. The collectors who are doing the homework now are still positioned ahead of the casual buyer who does not know what they are looking at. What this stamp means for the hobby. Here's the bigger picture, and this is the part I personally find most exciting. The Washington 2-cent Type 3 story is a case study in what modern philatelic research actually does for collectors. It proves that the hobby is not static. It proves that common is a designation that deserves to be challenged. And it proves that patient, educated collectors will always find opportunity that the broader market hasn't priced in yet. This is not an isolated incident. Across the Washington Franklin series, and honestly across American philately broadly, there are variations, printings, and subtypes that remain underappreciated, underidentified, and undervalued because the majority of the collecting world hasn't done the work. The Type 3 is a reminder that the most valuable thing in this hobby isn't money, it's knowledge. And it's a challenge to every one of you watching right now to go back to your collections with fresh eyes, because the stamp that redefined Rarity might already be sitting in your stock book. So there it is, the Washington 2-cent variation that nobody was looking for, that hid in plain sight for generations, and that quietly became one of the most compelling scarcity stories in modern American philately. This is exactly why I built Stamp Vault, because stories like this are everywhere in this hobby, and most of them don't get told. There's a version of this story sitting in every serious collection in the country. The question is whether you're equipped to find it. If today's deep dive gave you something to think about, or better yet, something to go look for, then this channel is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. If you learned something new today, do me a favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more collectors who deserve to know this stuff. Subscribe to Stamp Vault if you have not already. Every video we put out is designed to make you a sharper, more knowledgeable collector, and we have more deep dives like this one coming. Drop a comment below. Have you ever found a misidentified variation in an old collection? I want to hear your story. The Stamp Vault community is one of the best in the hobby, and your experience might help someone else make a discovery of their own. And if you want to keep going right now, check out our related Washington Franklin video. It picks up right where today's left off. Until next time, keep digging, keep learning, and keep collecting. This is Stamp Vault. We'll see you in the next one.